Hey, welcome back to Shane's Soldering Station. It's been a minute. So, the Amiga episode is still coming. That thing is a rabbit hole. It's got me running in circles, but I digress. Back to the matter at hand. So, a friend of mine gave me a couple of his DualSense controllers, and he's like, hey, I've got major drift going on with these things. Can you help me out? And I said, yes, I can. And I've got a mess of Hall effect sticks here. So, like an episode I did before, we're gonna take these tired old sticks out of these DualSense controllers. We're gonna put in some fresh Hall effect sticks so he can continue with hours and hours of gaming. So let's get over to the soldering station here at a different angle and get to it. So we're over here back at, well, we were always here at the soldering station. So we're gonna start with the purple one. Let's get this guy apart. Come on. There we go. Go. Set that aside. We got these two screws here. It's gonna be. Now let's try a Phillips 0. That seems to do the trick. Alright. Now we gotta pop these triggers out of here and catch them before they fall on the floor. There we go. And we got two more screws right here. And hopefully my 3D printer isn't too loud in the background. These little tabs here. And should now I just pop the rest of the case apart. There we go. Easily separate these. There we go. It's that side. Just gotta get there. Let's get that side to release. And my light's acting up right now when it doesn't need to. Okay. Battery. Disconnect that. That. Alright, get this screw right here. Oop. Gotta get that little connector out of here. connected. There we go. One. Flip this board out of here. Should. It's under. Yeah, locking. There we go. And there's your board. Disconnect that little ribbon cable here. There, go. I'm gonna have to desolder these little connectors here so I can get the board free, so we can get these new Hall Effect sticks in here. Alright, I'm gonna get everything prepped, gonna get the soldering station all warmed up and ready to go, and we'll be back in a second. Everything's ready to go here. I've got the soldering station all heated up. Got a little bit of flux on these motor leads that we've got to desolder here, and then we can take the board off. And I've got the camera kind of set up kind of goofy because I really didn't feel like setting up the microscope for this, so fire up the fume extractor, and let's get these leads desoldered. There we go. Took a second for that. Let that cool off. Hold this one. And there we go. That's that one done. Nope. A little switcheroo here. There we go. And for this last one, we can get the board off, and then I don't know if I'm going to need my helping hands. Here we go. To do this board, I might just have to stack a breadboard or something under that so I can desolder the sticks and get the new ones put in. Alright. Pull the board off like that. Set the rest of the controller out of the way. And you might have noticed their new piece of tech. You're going to get to see that in action in the Amiga video. So run some, that will like this thing. Alright, so I was having a little bit of an issue trying to desolder these with the soldering wick, and I was talking about that little tool, so I went ahead and I ordered it. So it's heating up right now, and we're gonna get these sticks out of here lickety split. Okay, so after some frustration of trying to get these sticks out with these type of helping hands, these are alright. They're good for if you need to hold a board and solder something onto it. but not for desoldering. So I got some of these guys, and these are fantastic. So we're going to try this again. So after some fighting with these sticks, and it was a fight, I got them pulled out. I don't have that all on film. I was getting a little aggravated there, I'm not going to lie. So we'll get to see all that when I do the other controller. But the new sticks are in, so I'm going to get these all soldered up. And then we can get the purple controller put back together. And then we can do the white one. So let's get some soldering done here. Fire up the fume extractor. Hopefully it's not too loud. And I'm going to grab my glasses again here. Should have had the microscope set up. I'll probably set it up for doing the other one. And then you'll be able to see this a bit better. Alright, so let me get this all flexed up here. And I think what I was doing wrong with this one is I've got that tool. I just don't think I was letting it sit and get hot enough on these to get the solder hot enough to melt, so I could just pull the controller out, or the stick out. So when we do the white controller, I'll have it hot enough, let it sit there long enough till I can wiggle it out, and then won't have to fight it so much. So alright, let's get this all soldered here. Alright, that is all of those soldered on. Cool beans. Clean this up. Don't need that on anymore. Boy, when that thing turns off, you really realize how loud it is. Alright. So we got the sticks all mounted in here. All good. All nice and soldered on there. Yeah, and they feel good. So, what I gotta do is get this back in the controller, slap it all back together, solder the motor wires back onto the board, and we should be good to go, and then we can start on the next one. So I'm gonna do all that off camera. I'll film putting together the other controller at the end, so you'll get to see it on that one. So next you'll see I'm going to be starting on the white one. Alright, getting ready to pop apart the white one here. I'm going to tear it down to the board. I'm not going to film that because you've seen it with the purple one already. So when we come back, I'll have the board all mounted up on with the helping hands, ready to desolder the sticks. Back in a few. Now we got the white controller board all ready to go. I'm going to attempt it again with this tip. I let it get way hotter and let it sit a little bit longer to get nice and hot. So hopefully we can get these sticks out with minimum trouble, unlike the last one. So, alright, I've been letting this warm up for a little bit here. let's see if we can get them to pop out here. Well, I guess, I don't know. For some reason, I can't get this tip to work right. I tried heating it up hotter than it should. Guess I'm going to have to break out my solder sucker and just go from there, I guess. Alright, got the solder sucker all warmed up. Hopefully this will do the trick again. So, get stuff out of the way here. Alright. It is just catching on everything. Alright, let's get to it here. Yeah, alright, that went much better. Well, we got some crossing around. There you go. Alright, there, I can lay it there, like that. Perfect. It's always the last one that seems to go the easiest, right? Now, get these cleaned up. Yeah, I think that's the route to go from now on with these. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know. If any of you want to try, I'll leave the link in the description for that soldering tip. If you guys want to try it out for yourselves, who knows? Maybe you'll have better luck. But yeah. When in doubt, you good old solder sucker. Alrighty. So, get both of our old thumbsticks out. Let's get these new ones popped in. Alrighty. Perfect. Slide them right in now. Alright. Popped in there. Awesome. Let's get this other one. There we go. Alright, should sit in there fine. I just need the corners. I put a lot of tension on these clamps. I wish the only thing I don't like about them, they're really nice. These little guys are super nice, but I just wish the magnet on the bottom was just a little bit stronger. That'd make a huge difference. Just, yeah, if the magnet was a little bit stronger, it'd be good to go. Alright. These all good. Alright, got everything set up here. I got the microscope going so we can go into there and see some soldering going on. So I'm going to get these new Hall Effect sticks soldered in, get the controller all put back together, and then we'll test them out, see how we did. So got the sticks all soldered on, and I wanted to take you into the microscope. Now I got it hanging back up. Unfortunately, I forgot to record what I was doing on the microscope, so no footage of that, unfortunately. Anyways, we got everything ready to go. Said I'm gonna do a quick little zoom through of putting this controller back together, and then we can hook it up to the computer and see if everything's working out. So let's get cracking. And there we go. All put back together. Sticks feel great. Okay. Let's get it hooked up to the computer. We'll run a controller test and see how it is. Alright, let's get this controller hooked up to the PC. I'm going to have to look at different controller ones. I'm just going to use this one for now, but I'm not getting readings from here as I'm moving these sticks around, so I think we're in good shape. And everything's hitting here, and that D-pad. Yeah, I think we're all right here on this one. So, all right, plug that one. Let's test out the purple one. This one seems to be alright. Let's be something up with the other stick here. But other than that, I think we're alright. I'm going to pop this one apart real quick and stuff off camera, take a look and see what's up with that, and then I'll come back, we'll test it out again. Back in a few. Okay, I got the purple one popped apart, checked it out. There was one of the ribbon cables was a little loose, so I got that pushed back in good. Let's give it another try and see what happens. Alright, plugged in. Alright, look at there. We got them things moving. Alright, everything is looking good. Alright, I gotta pop these buttons back in, but overall, everything's working good. So, cool beans. 2 PlayStation controllers now with Hall Effect sticks. My friend's gonna be pretty happy. He ain't gonna have to worry about drift anymore. Well, alright. Well, there we go. Got the Hall Effect sticks installed on these DualSense controllers. I know my buddy's going to be pretty happy with that. He ain't going to have to worry about drift anymore with them. The thumbstick soldering iron tip, I don't know. I went back and I was looking at reviews on it, and it's kind of a 50-50 bag on it. So I'm going to do some more testing with it. Maybe I didn't have it at the right temperature and stuff, you know. I mean, this thing is a pretty big chunk of metal, so you really have to crank the heat on it. So I'm going to do some testing. Maybe it'll work out in the end, but for now when I'm doing these, it's going to be the old solder sucker for me. So, and the Amiga episode is still coming. I got in some needed parts and stuff. This being, like I said, being my first computer repair, this thing is sending me down a rabbit hole. I thought maybe it'd be kind of replace the capacitors, check the chips, maybe have to replace one of those, but I'm getting 5 volts on a ground I shouldn't be getting 5 volts on, so I'm checking into that. Hopefully that'll be coming soon. Some other news. In March, I'm going to Days of the Dead horror convention. I've been going to horror conventions and did some Comic-Cons too, but I've been doing that for well over a decade now. I love it. I do some cosplay, so I'm going to be filming while I'm there to make an episode. Well, I've been trying to get in contact with them to find out about filming there, so I will let you know what's going on when I get there. If I can't be filming around inside the convention, I'll be filming at least around while I'm doing some stuff. So you'll be able to get to see that in probably a couple weeks. The convention is the 6th through the 8th, so probably with the weekend after that I'll have the episode out for you. So until then, keep that solder flowing, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.